Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. In this episode, I'm starting a 5-year journey. Technically, these are mostly going to be from last year, so it may only be from 4 years for now. But I'm going to see what these seedlings can do. These are peach seedlings that have grown from seed, and they fell beneath the parent tree, and then all these started sprouting up. You can see these two here kind of sprouted up near each other, so I'm going to separate those out. I'm going to plant probably about 10 of them here on my property and then monitor them over the next like 3-4 years, 4 or 5 years, see how they do and what becomes of them. The parent tree only produces little plum-sized peaches that kind of get like a green, yellow, orangish color when they're ripe. So I'm excited to see what comes of these. Let's get them in and let the journey begin. Since they're small, the hole doesn't take that long. I've actually got my camera propped on a bucket of rabbit manure. I'm going to mend the soil a bit with that. And on some of these, like this one seems pretty good, but some of the other ones that seem kind of more broken, I'm going to put a little rooting hormone on just to help them get started in the soil. And if you watch our channel regularly, you're probably already familiar with the idea. But the goal is just to have, in most of our pastures, just some spaced out fruit trees that can grow up and over our sheep and cow, provide them with some shade. They'll provide it with some fertilizer, still be able to have grass in between, and then give us food from above, and whatever is excess, well, they can enjoy some of that too. So we got one in. I'm gonna get a drip waterer, which is pretty much a 5-gallon bucket with a hole or two in it. So I'm gonna put some water in here, put it on the uphill side of that. With the two little holes here facing the plant, it's gonna slowly leak out, kind of be time released. And that's still in a little valley. I've got it planted at the height it was growing at to keep the trunk at the right height. I don't want to plant it too deep or too shallow, so I'm just doing exactly what it was doing when it was growing up the street on the side of the road. And then this will just slowly release out into that little valley it's in. It'll keep it watered and help it get a real moist start to its new home. See how that works? It's going a little quicker than I would like it to, so I'm just going to take one of the holes and block it up for right now. Yeah, almost. So now one's blocked up and the second is down to a little trickle. That's going to work better for me. Let's go put another one in. Nice undisturbed root ball there. Not too disturbed anyway, so I'm gonna plant that in. It was obviously cut off probably by the road crew last year when it started growing and grew up a new head. So I'm gonna kind of have it where it sticks up straight, and I'm gonna put a little bit of the rabbit manure around here as a fertilizer. You hear that guy behind me going? This is the third one right now, and as this gets watered, I'm going to pinch off some of these. I like using pruning shears or Weiss scissors for the bigger stuff, but these little guys here, I don't want any of these little guys growing. I just want this main stem to be growing up. So I'll just begin pinching down from there and just carefully removing all these to make this stem, which is going to be the trunk, bare. I'll have it branch out, but I want it to branch out higher than this and not just immediately at this ground level. Oh, and I've got some sheep in here too. I'm going to have to either fence these in or move the sheep before they nibble these down as well. Another thing to think about. And even here, this one's starting to branch out. So I'm just going to take that off and let it go up from here. Looks like a bowl of Cocoa Puffs, right? It's good for it. For some reason, sheep. Oh, hey. Why don't you get out of there? I don't know why they do that, but sometimes they do. There's this next one going. Looking good. No, mama. No. I said no. Stay back. My fertilizer. That's number 5. I'm at least gonna get 5 more in for this experiment. But you can see it was all bushy all the way up. Now it's just got some at the top. So that's less for these transplanted roots to support, which is going to be good. I'm still waiting on her. I think today is the day for her. We don't know until we find out though. We didn't find out yet. One thing to remember too when you're digging these holes and rocks come out, the roots aren't going to appreciate the rocks. But when you view things as resources, okay, you can take those rocks bring them over to the edge of your property and use them to build rock pillar fences, right? We'll put these here for some of the next ones. But that way, as we continue this project, we put them to good use and we won't have to worry about running into them again, because no roots are going to be cutting through here. Gotta be wise. And here's one too. I've thought about taking this little ravine and smoothing it out, but I think I'm just going to plant a fruit tree at the end of here where this ravine comes down, and maybe one up here somewhere too. Some of the water that comes through here cuts through here, so I'm going to use it as a natural watering system for a tree there. And you can see even on the edge, things kind of build up more on the fence line because of everything getting washed down here. So I'm going to put one in here. So now as water comes flowing down this little ravine here, it'll come back and forth down the little ravine and water that peach tree. I will let it grow for a year, then decide if I want to prune differently. I may just send it all up this chute and cut that side off, or we'll see. I can always bend it and straighten it too, so we'll see what happens. Alright, good news. So I've got 10 of them in. They're all in the same pasture. This is the associate pasture. Senior pasture is on the other side of the driveway. Right now I've got them all marked with buckets, so I'll show you where they all are so you can see them. And we'll also get a close-up on them, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 7 behind 6. 8's over there. And then 9 and 10, those first two I put in. So they're kind of spread out. I've got some space in the middle here for some other trees. I also plan on planting probably some other peaches. While I was in here, I did prune the 3 pears and the 2 mulberries, and I fertilized them with some of the rabbit manure that I had with me. I'm going to get kind of a close-up on each of these, and then, you know, they're planted. That's one thing. I've still got like another 15, 16 to plant. No, yeah, something like that. I got 2 in pots already, and I got like 28 of them total, which is just insane. We drove by, you couldn't even tell, other than the one taller one was missing. So 3 other tall ones are there, plus the original. But all these little babies came from right at the base of the mother tree. I don't think the guy's ever even gonna realize I grabbed them. And then more will be coming up when these seeds sprout from last year. But the goal is have these guys in here. I'm gonna put some other ones, you know, around of a different kind. This pasture also I want to have at least sparsely populated. Mama wants to leave the big one more open, so we got area to play, run, soccer, other things. There's still gonna be room to drive a truck all the way down and back and things like that too, but they're in. Still got to fence them, still got a bit of work to do, but I'll show you each of them all real quick, and then the waiting game begins. So after 2 of these pears, we've got this guy here. I'll film them against the buckets. Yeah, there's that one there. This one here, a little taller. The one at the bottom of the ravine, which is the biggest one here. This one up the hill from it, and it's amazing how much like topsoil this one had and how much just gravel and washout that one had. And they're not that far apart, but it's amazing the difference. So that's 4 already. Here's number 5, little guy there. And I tried to give this black walnut some birth. You can kind of see a dead zone underneath it. Number 6 here is planted at the edge of that. Then number 7. Number 8, which was like the 3rd one in. Number 9, probably the 1st one in. And number 10. Got a couple extra in the bucket. But that's that. I'm excited to see what happens. We'll see you next time. Papa out.
Thank you for watching. And